guys. Welcome back to the tribe.
Welcome back, everyone.
Thank you so much for subscribing to our channel. We truly appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
As you can see, we're keeping this party moving. We're still in nature.
Yes, we are. We're out here in nature, catching the vibe.
Yes. Before we get started, we're actually going to start with the affirmation of the day.
That's right. Our affirmation of the day is, I am one with the earth.
I am one with the earth.
That's right. And we say this throughout the day to reprogram the subconscious mind. Let's go.
So today's topic is the natural occurrences or changes that's happening on Earth.
That's right. The earth is going through massive changes, and we can see that throughout the world, especially in North Carolina and Florida.
California.
So we're going to touch on that today.
Yeah.
You want me to start it off?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, as we talked about in other videos, we know that we're going through these massive changes, whether it be physically, spiritually, and in our human worlds. But the earth itself is going through massive changes as well. Whether it be earthquakes, whether it be tornadoes and record hurricanes, there are things that we haven't seen on this planet ever. And the amount of things that are happening is showing you that there's a specific change that's happening that we really need to hone in on. Now, the sun is affecting the earth as well, right? So the sun is giving off these massive, massive charged particles and energies and solar flares that are affecting the planet. And ultimately, we're going through changes that we really need to take heed to.
Yeah. I mean, hearing about Florida, hearing about California, hearing about all of these different states North Carolina, that's dealing with climate change. I mean, there was a point in time when in middle school we were learning about global climate. So it's like to see those now reoccurring themes, but it's happening so often. It's like, whoa, like we are now seeing Earth cleanse itself of all of the wicked, that it has.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's really another thing. A lot of people are reporting on these things, but they're mostly reporting on just the physical aspects of it. But there are spiritual aspects of it too. The earth is going through these massive changes because of the energy that's been put into earth, especially by the human beings. Our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our actions, all of these things create a specific type of energy. And in this dimension, it was comfortable for the earth, but the earth is changing in vibration. And since it's changing in vibration, just like we are, it's trying to shake off all of that negativity, all of that energy. And the way that that manifests is tornadoes, is hurricanes, is these different types of energies that we're seeing around the world. So these things aren't just happening for no reason.
Yeah. It's pretty insane. I mean, to hear about Florida, I mean, I'll be going there in a few days, but to hear that they're currently going through having a hurricane, and this hurricane apparently is at 180 miles per hour.
Category 5.
Yeah, Category 5. And thankfully, the area that I'm going to is just more so rain and thunder. But for the other parts that unfortunately is getting hit really, really hard, my prayers go out to them, obviously, because, that's very scary.
Yeah.
I mean, having to deal with actual, natural causes that can really disrupt your peace of mind, your home, your living, your neighborhood, where it could turn out like, Hurricane Katrina, how it was in New Orleans. And those things could be really, really scary. But I do see the benefit and I do see the good in all of this because of the fact that Earth is now cleansing, is now getting rid of all of the things that once occurred, obviously, but it is now putting things into perspective. It is allowing us to be a lot more aware of how we treat the earth.
Yeah.
Trash and spitting and swearing and really destroying the earth, throwing stuff in water and polluting. All of these things are things that this is a living organism.
Yes,
Earth
people forget about that.
Yeah, trees are living organisms. The ground, like when you put your hand on the ground, we do groundwork. So it's like when you actually connect and you spiritually intertwine yourself and you actually feel the energy that you're actually receiving, and then you're seeing all of this humans acting barbaric by destroying and destruction and throwing and littering and all of these different things. It's like, of
We
course
think
this
that the
is
earth is
happening.
not going to do anything about that.
Right. There's
Because,
no consequences.
yeah, we
Right.
think that just because you got to remember these bodies literally belong to Earth. These
Right.
bodies are regulated and moved by the planet. So in all reality, it's like we're souls and we're borrowing these bodies.
Right.
But when we're here, we don't respect the planet as if the planet is not intelligent, like the planet is not wise. Look
Right.
what the planet has created. It created an intelligent species, us. Like
Right.
let's think about these things logically. Like we disrespect the planet as if it doesn't have its own mind, as if it doesn't have its own intelligence, as if it's not going to protect itself even from one of its creations. You
Right.
feel what I'm saying? So we are a creation of Earth, and if you're destroying the planet, you think that the planet is not going to try its best to shake that thing off. Nature does that just in general. Even if you
Yep.
just look at other animals or insects, when a specific animal or insect is destroying the whatever the ecosystem,
Yep.
there's something
Yep.
that is created, right? So let's say, for instance, like an animal, like evolution wise, like
Right.
if there's something that's attacking a specific animal, this animal naturally builds these type of mechanisms to protect itself.
Right.
This is just nature. Earth is the same exact way. So it'll do things when it feels threatened, when it feels attacked, especially when it's trying to change its energy, trying to change its vibration,
Right.
and all of its inhabitants must follow suit.
Right.
You're no different. Just because we could talk and articulate ourselves and make buildings and create our own little realities outside of nature doesn't mean that we're not a part of nature.
Right. Yeah. Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like how you touched on that. And also too, just to see how even when we make these communities or we build these buildings or we have these beaches and all types of stuff, there are still ways where earth or water or it could be sunken. What is it? New York like is
It's
literally
on its way out.
sinking. Yeah,
Damn
but
near.
so is Miami. It's
Yeah.
literally sinking every
Cali.
day. So it's like when you really think about those things and you think about how we as humans have been so privileged and not really respecting the laws of the land. It's really laws of the land. You have obviously we have laws, man's laws, but then you also have laws of the land.
Yeah.
And part of it is being respectful
Yes,
and not littering and honoring and appreciating. I mean, you don't necessarily have to go out and meditate and kiss and hug the tree.
Yeah. If you want to, you can, but
If
you
you
don't
want
have
to,
to.
right?
Just,
Like you could do little things to really avoid this type of cadence. But if you continue to go on this pathway and you continue to be disruptive and be angry, of course the earth it naturally
shake stuff
is
up.
going to shake it out because it's a spiritual thing. It's spiritual. We're dealing with spiritual laws,
Right.
As well as we're dealing with physical laws.
Right.
And right now this is just an eye opener of a spiritual law that's really occurring, and that's really putting it into place.
And I want to definitely send as much love as I can to the victims of these hurricanes and Florida and North Carolina and all these different places, even the places around the world that I'm not aware of.
Right.
But we have to be aware of the energy that we're putting out. Like, if you can't do anything immediately to help people, the least you can do is give good energy to these situations.
Right.
If you're adding anxiety and fear and all these things, it's natural to feel those things.
Right.
But to add these things, I see people on the internet, it's like nothing but that.
Yeah, negative.
Pray.
You should do this. You should do that. And
give some love. Send some love out to these people.
Right.
Especially if they can't do anything immediately.
Right. It's easy to say you should, and really make a judgment. But then it's another thing to be like, okay, coming from love and also coming from awareness of saying, hey, listen, okay, how could we be better? Yeah. Being better is, again, stop littering, stop polluting, stop, cursing and really just like creating
with your environment.
And creating chaos, within your own neighborhood. Like, how can you avoid that? Like you have to remember, like, you were given this. Once you became out the womb, like, it's a gift to have life.
Right.
And when you take it for granted, when you take your life for granted, and you don't see the beauty of it being a gift, you now turn that gift, because it's reverse. You turn it into a curse. So it's about having that balance and also being able to say, you know what? Okay, cool. How can I be a better person for myself, for my environment, for my community, and really for the earth?
Beautiful. You know what time it is.
Yep.
Yes, you good energy. I love it.
Okay. Segue. Okay, so the word of the day is continence.
Continence.
Continence. Continence means self-control over desire and actions.
That's good.
That is a good fact. I'm gonna actually start to use that in my daily vocabulary.
And you guys should too. Like all the words that we're giving you, this is to strengthen your vocabulary, strengthen ours. Let's go.
Yeah. Wait, should I put it in a sentence, or would you like to?
Okay, I can put it in a sentence.
Consonance.
Okay. In certain situations that are stressful, I like to lean on my consonants. Along with the natural occurring things that are happening on the planet, there are also man-made creations that's kind of confused. We don't know what's going on sometimes. So yes, the sun is giving off amazing solar flares that are changing the planet, terraforming the planet, and the planet is going through its own evolution. But the human beings have created their own technology, HARP and all these other things. You see chemtrails in the sky.
Weather machine in
Weather
Dubai.
machines. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, think about that. Like you said, like the weather machine in Dubai should show you that we have the power to change the weather and potentially create hurricanes and create certain things like that. The retribution that's going to come from doing things like that to the earth, doing that things like that to the humans is going to be astronomical, especially in these times of karma coming back so quick.
Right. But you know what I thought about?
What's that?
Science versus spirituality. Because when you really think about it, science, just touching on Dubai, because that was a huge thing. I think that happened earlier in the year, where there was a flood.
A huge flood.
Huge flood. Mind you, Steve and I were talking about moving out there to the point we were actually looking at apartments. Like, we really wanted that to be our home.
If you don't know, we were there last year for about a month.
Yeah. So when we went there, we loved it. This is it, blah, blah, blah. We come back couple months later, and we see that there's a whole flood.
Buildings, it's crazy.
Like crazy, like high flood. We're seeing like the streets, like people had to use whether it's containers or use plastic, that like it was like surfboard, like it was like insane. And to think again, like it was kind of like bamboozled. Like to think like we're going here, we're thinking that it'd be a place of just like natural energy. Obviously with the heat, we understand it gets 110, but we're like, whatever. But to see, because of the weather machine, whatever happened, it spun out of control. Science. And it ended up having a very deep impact on Dubai by destroying cars, homes. There were videos of people recording inside their homes, showing the different debris and showing the water line. And it was just, like, to me, it was an eye-opener of saying, wow, like, this is why you have to be careful when you put things in your own hands as man. When you put things in your own hands, things spin out of control due to the fact that it's too much pressure. It's too much energy. It's too much trying to control.
Yes, too much control energy. I think that was our biggest problem as humans. Like, we want to control everything. So, but you could see that too, like when we're like I'm outside and I'm looking at the sun, and then out of nowhere a plane flies directly in the path of the sun, like trying to block the sun out, or either trying to block the sun out or trying to cover up the chemtrails. And all of these things are detrimental to the planet. So the planet is going to react to that. The planet is going to react to your reaction. It's like when you do these things and you're trying to change the weather, you're trying to control, nature's like, wait, what's going on? Nature's going to win. Like, you are nature. Even if you're trying to create things that are trying to change nature, nature's going to ultimately win. When the buildings are built and the humans are gone, the moss grows on the buildings, and nature always wins. This species can go at any time when it comes to nature. We have to be humble towards nature, and that energy will create a different type of reality for us. But the reality that we're receiving right now is karmic. It's like, but also, again, it's like you don't know, because it's like, is it nature or is it man doing this? But either way, whatever's happening, there's gonna be something that comes out on the other side, and it's not gonna be too good for the time being until everything becomes what we're gonna be.
Right. And this is karmic energy because we're in year number 8. I've been highlighting this number throughout the year, basically, and I've been saying all of the karmic debts, all of the challenges, all of the things that you left unsaid and you didn't pay attention to is now coming into light. This is a way of, like, it's a renewal in a sense, because now you're being faced with your karmic debts. So to see how the planet has, in all aspects, in all areas, in different places, whether it's Dubai, whether it's India, whether it's China, like, everywhere it's being affected, even Japan. So it's like everywhere it's being affected, and everybody's dealing with something that has to do with the earth.
Right.
But at
Wow.
this point, it's okay. I'm aware of it. I cannot control it as much as I want to control it with science. I can't control it. How can I be a spiritual being and really align with the planet, so when this does come into my awareness, or I am faced with this, I know how to react. Now, early on in the year, we actually dealt with a very minor earthquake here in New York City. We felt it.
Right.
It wasn't as extreme,
But it was enough
but
jarring enough
where
to be
we
like,
felt it.
whoa. Right.
But there were other places that were directly affected, where you saw on social media, they were directly affected. So for us, that's a way of, okay, we're here, and we obviously, we're not immune, we feel it too.
Yeah.
But it's because we are so spiritually aligned and really focused on the inner work. We're probably not in the harm's way. We're not in the line of the fire. So, and then another thing I wanted to touch on too, we're dealing with 5 elements. Technically: water, earth, wind, fire, ether.
Ether is really 6 of them.
Oh, 6, and air. So when you really think about that, and you think of the magnitude of that energy, versus man-made,
yeah, you're not gonna win. Like you are literally made of these elements. So how did like it's like, so we're not humble enough as human beings, and yes, we have souls.
That's why I said we're privileged.
Yeah, our souls are grand spiritual creations and all that great stuff that have control of reality in a way. But these bodies, we're not using the soul's energy. The soul would be more in alignment with nature. The body wants to just control things and make things happen. But look at human society when we try to control nature. This is what we've got. That has to change.
Has to change. But I'm happy that you and I were on this path, because it took us a while. Like, we were, I don't want to say NPCs. That's a little bit extreme. But I'll say we have been in our 3D element, where
I would say we were more focused on the
3D energy.
Yeah, right.
And, I personally believe this year was the year that kind of rattled us into really tapping into our spiritual,
back in.
Yeah, tapping back in. Yeah, we were already
very
there.
Spiritual.
Right.
Yes, go ahead.
But just being able to tap back into our spiritual awareness, and now that we are fully aware, it's kind of like this, like, hold on, of like, I don't want to let go of that. Hold on. Because I've seen so many changes, and I've seen so many things that I was able to put into place and put into action because of these techniques and because of these tools that I picked up along the way. So again, I'm really happy that, we were faced with these things, these problems, these 3D problems, but then we learned how to really tap into our inner self and then do the inner work.
100%. Damn, she's good.
Nature, man.
Right, that's right. You ready to?
Yeah, phrases.
Let's go.
Okay. Phrases of the day. The first Spanish phrase is Adonde.
Adonde.
Adonde. Which means where to.
Where to.
Adonde.
Adonde.
So, now, the Portuguese phrase is para onde.
Para onde.
Para onde.
Para onde.
Which also means where to.
Where to.
Okay, so to close out this topic, what are ways that, I guess, you and I, or individuals, can protect ourselves? I think definitely being aware, having awareness, being alert. Also, limiting yourself when it comes to the news. The news can sometimes push out fear, and it will make you, for example, stock up on items, like with the port strike, stock up on items, and now you have a whole bunch of stuff due to the fact that you were basically going on fear. Yeah. So I would say, obviously use discernment. Be aware of your spiritual abilities. I'm not saying witchcraft and, certain type of workings and voodoo. I'm not saying any of that. What I am saying is really connect back into your spiritual alignment. And that's with anything, whether it's with the Bible, the Quran, the tarot. Is it the tarot?
Yeah, witchcraft. That's all witchcraft. Whatever is good
Yeah,
for
whatever
you.
is good for you.
Whatever's good for you.
The point is that, you know, tap
Tap
into
in.
these things to really put yourself in a spiritual mindset, not only in a physical mindset, because we are dealing with spirits. We're dealing with, as we discussed in our last our other video, we're dealing with warfare. So keep yourself aware, but also use discernment, and just be able to connect with Earth,
Right.
love on Earth,
Mm-hmm.
appreciate Earth, appreciate nature. Steve and I, we were actually talking about doing, and we're gonna record. I mean, not to record, but you know, doing like a trash, like probably walk around here, pick up some trash, put it in a trash bag, like just to show our appreciation. You know, beach cleanings is really good too. Like just being aware of how you can give back to Earth, but also to do the inner work within yourself.
Yeah. Doing your part, wherever you can do your part for sure. Trying not to fall into fear, definitely getting close to nature as much as possible. If you are in a place where there is going to be a natural disaster or where there usually are natural disasters, definitely prep. Like you should definitely prep for certain things. Don't overly prep to where you're like, you have things that can go to waste. You don't want that. But definitely prep, definitely lean on your spiritual sword. I think the veil is all but gone at this point. Like in we are with the spirits. We are here. They're here now in this moment. So we got to really tap and connect mentally, physically, and obviously spiritually with that realm so that we can create better outcomes for each other and for the planet. It's a beautiful existence. We live in a beautiful reality and in the best time to be alive as a human being, regardless of what it seems to be. When you tap into yourself, you'll see what's really going on. So we're all fair and well, regardless of what happens.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like,
But
thank you guys so much again for subscribing to our channel. We truly, truly, truly appreciate it. As you can see, we're going to keep this going. We're going to definitely keep this going in terms of with nature. And we really appreciate you, each and every one of you, taking the time to look at our videos
Yeah.
and comments and liking and sharing and subscribing. Like, we truly appreciate that. And, you know, we continue to look forward to growing with you.
Yes. Make sure you comment below. Make sure you subscribe, share it to your people. If you love the content, just show them. Go.
Let's go. And until next time, stay tuned.